When I was 13, my mom got pregnant with my youngest brother. I remember the day he was born. I remember maybe not necessarily his first steps, but when he first started walking. I remember a lot of that stuff. You know, clear as day. We would watch cartoons together. We would play PlayStation together. He was that person that, like, you know, growing up, you know, he could count on me, I could count on him. And even when I got out of high school, we hung out on a regular basis. We were inseparable. He was my best friend. Yeah, he was the person that I thought I could always count on. I knew I could always count on him. He's kind of a role model, like, cause he always seemed to have it put together. His dream was to join the Marine Corps. And after his graduation from high school, he joined the Marine Corps. Whether it was a 5-minute phone call or a 2-hour-long phone call, we had a standing 2 p.m. call every Sunday that we would talk to each other. But that day, I didn't get his call. I got a call from my mom. Got that call and I just fell to the floor. I couldn't communicate to my wife, like the words just weren't coming out. That my brother was dead. I mean, the one person I thought I could always count on is gone. My brother took his life. So how can I count on anybody else? It felt like my world fell apart. I would withdraw. There were days that just getting up and brushing my teeth just had to be enough because it's about all I could do. I mean, it's hard to put to words all of the negative emotion that I had and had directed towards God. The blame, the anger. Oh, I didn't want to give up that anger. I didn't want to give up. It was the thing that I felt was driving me, was that anger. Like, I was not a kind person during this time. And it didn't matter who it was. I mean, I even started pushing my wife away, potentially finding ways to start arguments, just so I didn't have to talk to her. My mind would go to all of those dark places again. All of the time it lived in that space. And the longer it lived in that space, the more of a jerk, the more angry I became with everyone. It always just seemed to get worse and worse. I mean, at one point, through all of the depression and the anger, I mean, I destroyed a lot of friendships. I almost destroyed my marriage. My wife told me that if I didn't get help, that she's gonna pack up and I would never see my boys again. Looking back, I completely understand. I was not a good spot to be in. It had been years at that point. I mean, a good solid 3, if not 4 years since my brother's passing. And it was a random evening. I just prayed for the first time in probably 2 years. I just felt this sense of calm. It was a sense of calm that I hadn't felt in a very long time. I leaned into that calm, little by little. And all of the chaos, it just was like silence. Like good silence. And that's where I started to find the peace that I once had. Through going to counseling and prayer, I really started to rebuild that relationship because Jesus isn't the one that walked away, I am. I walked away from that relationship because I was angry and I was upset. I finally found the strength to kind of give up control. And it was at that point when I gave up control and I started praying about everything that I found Jesus was always right there, a light in the darkness of all the things that he is. That is the one that is probably the one that's made the most impact on me. Because when I was at my darkest, he was always there shining the way home. There's the rough days. And there'll always be rough days. It's just, how do you rebound and deal with those rough days? Who do you lean on? How do you move forward?